Oh, God, no. Show's about a woman that's a sheriff. Show about Suzanne Summers with a bunch of kids like the Brady Bunch. Oh, God. Come on, this cannot be happening.
Jack.
Yeah?
It's been over 30 years, man. They can't hurt you anymore.
Oh, God. Have another nightmare, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, man, I must have knocked my cherished Steve Austin doll off. Hi, everybody. Sorry, my asshole roommate had to capture this. And my buddy here, I apologize for all that. Oh, God. What am I doing today, pal?
I think you're talking about growing pains.
Oh, yeah. I forgot to mention, this whole month, we're in a thing called Sitcom Hell. The worst sitcoms ever. So today, I'm going to talk about Growing Pains, which aired on ABC from September 24th, 1985 to April of 1992. And this show really is very bad. It was a huge deal back in the 80s, but we didn't have much cable, we didn't have much to watch, so you kind of like watch what was ever on. In prime time, this was not good. For one, okay, you have Alan Thicke is Jason, and he basically is an 80s version of Ward Cleaver. He's not very interesting, he's a psychiatrist. Two, you have Maggie, and she's going back to work, which is, you know, played by Joanna Kearns. You know, and Ben doesn't like it, which I can't remember the little bastard's name. Then you have Mike, who's played by, you know, Kirk Cameron, who's that complete religious asshole. And then you have, you know, Tracy Gold, which was, you know, she's good. I mean, they're all pretty good. And then we have the major hottie, and of course she wasn't a hottie back then, Ashley Johnson, when she came in later to the series. But one thing that's good about this show is in the final season, this show gave us DiCaprio. So that's the one good thing in Ashley Johnson. If it wasn't for that, there's nothing to the show. It's basically a ripoff of The Cosby Show. You know, I mean, Jason's a psychiatrist, and he has his office downstairs. And Maggie, she has some kind of job, and she does it, you know, somewhere else. We don't really care. It's just bland. These characters are cardboard cutouts. And you had Mike, who was supposed to be the hot, you know, for the girls. He's like the hot sex symbol. But even he's not that interesting. And then you have Tracy Gold, you know, as Carol. And like I said, she does as good as she can. And Tracy, if you're seeing this, sweetheart, you don't have anything to worry about. You look good. I want you to know that. And if you want to contact me, you know, there'll be at the end of this, any of you guys want to contact me, there's my Twitter feed and my Facebook. And basically, all Mike does is make jokes about how fat Carol is. That's not funny. That makes you look like a dick. And I am really there's really nothing really to say much about the episodes. They're not really memorable. They're just shit. And I do not blame any of the cast because they just have shit to work with. They do their best. But, you know, in the later season, they got Maggie. Maggie got pregnant. They put her, you know, had a baby actress. And then they said, oh, fuck it, we're going to have her age 5 years like the Colognes on Camino. And that's something I want to know. How come on sitcoms, kids age, they'll be like a baby and all of a sudden they're like 5 years old, 5 or 6 years old. Are they clones on Camino? I would like to know this. I mean, really, is that the thing? It bugs the shit out of me. So they bring her in, and then they had the baby for a while. And they finally bring, you know, Ashley Johnson in, and she gives a really good performance, but she's, like, pretty young at the time. And in the final season, DiCaprio was in there. There was an episode where Ben was calling a sex hotline. Yeah. He found the tree and he wanted to be cool, so he's giving it to all the kids at school. Yeah, that's really, really interesting. I can remember when I was in grade school, I wasn't thinking about sex. I was thinking about trying to get a Transformer or a Ninja Turtle instead of what my old man would pay for because he was so goddamn cheap. So that right there is like he's really young and why? That had no bearings. And they're trying to make this whole philosophical plot that Ben, he has got to write this letter. Talking about how come it is for an easy, kid for me to get a hold of this. It's like, what? I remember I lived in a small town. I remember seeing stuff like this, but I didn't go pick it up. Because as kids, we didn't know what sex was at the time. And there was an episode where a little later season, where they kind of are trying to copy Night Court. They have a judge, and he's kind of like Harry, but that really goes nowhere. They have a plot where Mike becomes a teacher at the end of the in the show, and to me that just didn't work. And behind the scenes of this show is what's kind of more interesting than what actually happened, in the show itself. Kirk Cameron got religious and became a major douchebag. This actress that was on there, she posed for nude for Playboy. Now that was her choice, Nobody held a gun to her head. That was her choice, and, we're all free to make our own choices. Sometimes we might regret them later on, but, like I said, everyone's free to make their own choice. Well, Kirk Cameron got her fired because she posed nude for Playboy, which is a major dick. Right there, that was just uncalled for Kirk. And then Kirk kept pushing more and more for religious themes because he's so religious. And then he, got that actress fired and had his own girlfriend play his girlfriend on there. And it just... Yeah, there's really not much to say about this show. It's just shit. I have watched every single episode of this show. And it's really hard, everybody. It is really hard. But we're going to get to the 1 hour series finale. And oh god, that's a doozy. Maggie and Jason are going to sell the house. And they're going to get some jobs somewhere. I really don't care. And Mike's a school teacher. And they do show a lot of clips in it of various episodes. That's what you want to see in your series fucking finale, is a bunch of clips of, episodes you already saw. So at the end of the episode, basically, they move. They're selling the house, and Mike stays behind and asks the girl, will you marry me someday? It's like, what? You either do or don't. It's like, you either take a shit or you don't. That's it. And then, basically, Chrissy says, can we stay and see the new people? And Ben's like, no, I wish we really didn't. And then there's a carving, which I forgot to bring in, that they've had in there since the beginning of the series. And Maggie kind of touches it and cries. And they walk off. But that would not be it of the Seavers family. Oh no, they had to come back in 3 fucking TV movies. They had the Growing Pains movie, Return of the Seavers, and there was another one. I completely forgot. It's just that forgettable. Why did anybody want this? Can anybody tell me why we wanted Growing Pains? A reunion movie? No, I don't think anyone even cares. Kirk Cameron's an asshole. Fuck you, Kirk Cameron. I have nothing against Russell Cast, but it's a series I will basically say do not watch. It will give you nightmares. It will bore you to tears. then just turn the channel if you get the chance. So, until next time, trust me, I know what I'm reviewing.